Hi, welcome to another deck profile of one of my decks I use on Dueling Network. So this deck profile is going to be for Jinzo, because we obviously have the new support for it. So this isn't exactly the most tier 1 deck in the world, but it is kind of a fun one to kind of play with if you really want to annoy your opponent. So we'll get into it. So we have the 1 BLS, 2 Black Salvos, 1 Dark Armed, double Effect Veiler, 1 GeneX Ally Birdman, 2 Gores, triple Jinzo Jector, 2 Machina Fortress, 2 Gear Frames, 2 Tomatoes, and 2 Summoner Monks. So that's it for the darks, well, for the monsters. 1 Allure, 2 Creature Swaps, whatever. 1 Dark Eruption, 1 Forbidden Chalice, 2 Forbidden Lance, 1 Iron Core, 2 MSTs, 2 Dualities, 1 Raigeki, 1 Soul Charge, and then Bottomless Solomon Compulse. Then for the extra deck we have 1 Black Rose, 2 Moonlight Rose, then Castal, Gusto, XYZ Rebellion, Diamond Eye, Exton, Cowboy, Gaia Dragon, Gauntlet Launcher, Gear Gigant X, 101, Number 11, and Photon Strike Bouncer. And then for the side deck, this is kind of a prototype, we have Chaos Sorcerer, another Mystic Tomato, Forbidden Dress, another Iron Call, Limiter Removal, Noble and Crossout, Pot Dichotomy, 2 Arc Starts, 2 Royal Decrees, and 1 Vanities. So, yeah, that's basically it for the main deck profile. We obviously only run these traps in it because obviously Jinzo is the one that stops all traps in the game. So, what I'll explain kind of like what this one does, because some people might not know. So this is Jinzo Jector. It's a new card that got released in the TCG, which is a support for Jinzo, in which you can, when you summon it, you can tribute it to add a Jinzo from your deck to your hand, and then you can reveal all set cards on your opponent's side of the field, and then the amount of traps there are means you can special summon that many Jinzos on your side of the field. So say for example your opponent had 2 traps and you had 2 Jinzos in your hand, you can special summon both of them, and it can work like that, or if yeah, that's mainly the combination of that. And then Black Salvo is used in combination of Jinzo Jector. So obviously you can go for those sync 7 plays, and which is the reason why I run Moonlight Rose. It's very useful actually, because when it's summoned, or if your opponent's special summons a level 5 or higher monster, you can target one of their special summon monsters and return it to the hand. So Mermails are kind of screwed with that, as well as Necros, because this is actually a mandatory effect, it's not an optional thing. And you have different kind of cards to work in like that, so it's a very kind of interesting deck. Like I said, it's not tier 1, but it is, again, one of the kind of flexible sort of decks you can use. Effect Rail is just kind of a trolly thing, because like it's useful to get your opponent's effects, like if they try and get off a Marjorie or Senju, or like a Tour Guide, you can just drop this and then they're kind of stuck, which is the reason why I run BLS as well, because in fact we have the Light and Darks, and the Law obviously works because in fact we have mostly Darks in the decks with just a few minor exceptions. Creature Shots may be used in combination with Effect Veiler or Jector, because obviously they're not the highest attack in the world, and then you can also use this and just run over your opponent. And then this is kind of useful because you can use it in combination with Summoner Monk if you want to. And then, like I said, this extra deck is kind of, well, side deck I should say, isn't like a set thing. Again, it's sort of flexible. You can swap it out for stuff like Chain Disappearances or like Flying Sea and anything like that. And there's not much else to kind of say about this. I would say maybe stick Limited Removal into the main deck, because obviously most of them are machines and it works pretty well with them. Obviously, like if you have Gear Frame equipped with Fortress, activate the limiter, that gains 5k, and then when it's destroyed, this will go to the grave instead. So that's useful. But like I said, there's not much else to kind of say over with this. That's pretty much it for the deck. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you time for the next video that I do. So see you then.